G'day, my name's Todd Standing. I'm out remote right now, so I'm supposed to do my live show tonight, and I will as long as this one works okay. I'm really just kind of testing here. But anyways, if you have questions, if I can't do my live show tonight, just put your questions in the bottom here. I'll be answering Facebook questions. Maybe I'll just do a video answering questions that you guys would have asked me live. Do I have that little? How do I get to my little comments thing here? Usually have a comments side. Live chat. Where are those little comments things? There they are. Got to be somebody that pops on here live. Ask me a question. Anyway, I'm back from Alabama. You saw my Alabama video. There's some stuff going on. Just got to figure out how it is there. So it looks like we're already having some botches here. So like I said, go to Facebook. I'll link this up on Facebook. Ask your questions there. I'm probably just going to end up doing a live video, or not. I can't do a live video. Why is this over? Gotta get my finger there. And already some awesome, fantastic questions. You guys are amazing. But just put your questions in the thing below, and I'll make a video answering a bunch of questions from you guys. Even just some questions that I do see here are asking me about my next my movies. I have multiple movies. I have California Bigfoot and Discovering Bigfoot Part 2. I just have to finish them. So that's what sucks about my movies, is I have to do all the darn work, and it's a freaking lot of work. All those names you see at the end of the movie, I have to, and I did it for Sasquatch. It started out with, I had to film them, and I need to get good with a camera because I didn't want to have a shaky, crappy video. So I started practicing with my camera, and then I started working. I realized that post-production was a darn fortune. So I started working with the guy who did post-production, and then I wanted to get better with cameras. So I started filming wrestling. This is a history of how Todd Standing got involved as a director. And again, I was working with wrestling guys. I'd be filming, getting really good with, like a camera is like something you practice with. So I went and volunteered. Well, and I got paid for too sometimes, filming live wrestling shows. I would go handheld and film the heck out of those shows. And some of those, I guess I grew up a little bit of a fan of wrestling, but these guys, it was a local group, and they were just so hardcore. They were so tough. It was amazing to work with them. It made me think too. In fact, working with those wrestlers helped me understand that it was okay for me to push my body really hard. Those guys smash their bodies. They mess themselves up. I mean, if you don't know about the damage that pro wrestlers do to themselves, and, these guys were killing themselves to entertain people. And that's why I was a little more fearless doing my expeditions. I'd fall. I'd fall off cliffs and mountains and injure myself. And it was all about the discovery process. And those guys really taught me how to stay tough and persevere if something matters enough to you. For wrestlers, it matters that they entertain you with their wrestling. And for me, it matters that I produced results as best I could, new footage, so it was very, very important. Let's see if I can just do some questions. Where can I watch the documentary that used to be on Netflix? I'm craving a rewatch. It's on Amazon Prime right now, and it's actually on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube with commercials. So, hey, Greg from Indiana. One question. Have you heard Jake's vocal sounds? Boy, that's a good question. Damn, you guys just never stop with these awesome questions. Jake was one of the individuals that was growling at me during that there's that flare incident that's on Survivor Man. Is that in my movie too? I blocked that flare incident out because that was a horrible day. And just hearing me scream, in case you haven't heard it, where I'm screaming like, get out of here. I'm swearing and I'm using profanity. It was a really, really hard day. And anyways, Jake was there. He was one of the Sasquatch that was growling at me, going that really guttural, deep whoa, that growl that they do. So I heard him vocally there. And I don't know though. I can't. There's nothing I could really pinpoint definitively. Whenever Jake would be around, he'd be pretty silent. So I don't know what yells and screams that I heard. I never really heard screams. I just always heard like really cool Sasquatch calls, like woo. But I didn't know if that was Jake or who was doing that. But I heard vocals from other Sasquatch in Jake's group, but it's not something that happens very often. And yeah, do you think they know their eyes reflect our torchlight? That, man, Ken, that is such a good question. Yes, I do. I even like I told that to Jeff Meldrum when Jeff Meldrum was looking at the Sasquatch and had his sighting of a Sasquatch that's in my movie Discovering Bigfoot. That Sasquatch was hiding his eyes because he knew they would glow. He knew they would glow lighter in the torchlight. It was very apparent, even in Jeff's sighting, where the Sasquatch kept his head away and looking down and didn't, or behind the trees. He really hid himself very well. So yeah. So again, somebody's asking me where can I watch a documentary? It's here on YouTube. Just punch in Discovering Bigfoot, and again, you can watch it, or I think you can buy it on YouTube, and it's on Amazon Prime. So, but if you're here on YouTube, you can just watch it here with commercials, right? Just got back from week camping in the Olympic Mountains. Still can't hike on one bad leg. Sorry to hear that, Northwest Olympics. And those are awesome. Some of the most fantastic Sasquatch habitat. Got to be in the whole world of those Olympic Mountains. So, hello, Robert. It looks like we're doing pretty good here. So, I'm going to go through these questions. I'm not going to make this a long show here because I got lots of stuff to do. But just based on how this is holding up pretty well, I think I will go live off of here. So, and yeah, just keep banging in your questions there, guys. Make tons and tons. I see you got lots of them. I bought Discovering Bigfoot and loved it. I'm looking forward to purchasing your new movies. Thanks, Arthur. Yeah, and there will be new stuff coming out and maybe a new TV show with me. So it's a lot going on. Expeditions are happening for sure. I just three of them are all set up and ready to go in Canada. 3 weeks of expeditions in the next 7 to 8 weeks of my life. So Greg says he'd love to come see one. Well, nobody from the United States can come to Canada. And it looks like they're not going to change that anytime soon, which is really freaking frustrating, isn't it? Hello, Jay from the UK. Hi, Todd. What's your theory about the evolution of Sasquatch? Gigantopithecus. My theory is that Gigantopithecus evolved along the hominid side of things, right along people, and became upright bipeds. Maybe got a little smaller, a little less heavy set, and went towards hominid kind of DNA. So moved out of China, Langchun, China, and Africa, and followed mankind. Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, just followed them up into Europe, and then through China and Russia. So that's my theory. Do they cover their scat? The scat samples that I have, no, they didn't. But they were remote spots. Remember that animals, well, all beings, people don't like it when I say animals. I'm an animal, you're an animal, we're Animalia. Species will defecate in spots where they're very comfortable. You don't defecate in a dangerous spot. So, like if you see a bear who's defecating along a trail, he was comfortable on that trail. He was not under stress. I don't think Sasquatch are comfortable on trails at all. And the places they defecate are very, very backcountry. So do they bury it? The spot that I found scat, it wasn't buried, likely too because it was very rocky. It was right beside the Rocky Mountains, so it would be hard to bury your scat. What would be easiest probably is what I do is I just defecate where there's sphagnum moss, so I rip up the sphagnum moss, and then I go and then I cover it. So Kubota for president, no, Kubota would not. No, he's not. Oklahoma female squatcher. Hello, Vicky. Oklahoma. That's so cool. I haven't been to Oklahoma before. But anyhow, we're 10 minutes into it. Have you seen the guy from, this is Darren says, have you seen the guy from the trail to Bigfoot who insists Sasquatch are hunters controlled by demons? No, come on. I don't want to take this paranormal subject and make it more paranormal. I don't want to take a controversial subject and make it ridiculously controversial. I have no desire to do that. I'm not going to do that. What do they do with their dead? It's extremely likely they have a spot for them. They put them in a spot and then they defend that spot. And I've seen evidence to substantiate that with a group of men I worked with in Oregon. Just one more question, Todd. Have you ever encountered really aggressive? Absolutely, Arthur. Yeah, the California Sasquatch were very aggressive. I think my stats are just ballpark are 30% of the time they're aggressive and don't want me around. So, and I mean like definitively where I leave. I've been to research areas where the Sasquatch are so angry and so unforgiving of me that they just so anyways, it was pretty decent. These questions are really excellent. Hates Rachel from, what does that say? WI, Next Generation Sasquatch Believer. Hates Rachel from WI. Sorry, my thing is blinking, like it's not clear. But hi, Rachel. I don't know what the WI is, but nice to meet you. How did the Sasquatch incident with the flares end? Central Michigan Bigfoot. You know what? I'm gonna start the live show tonight with that question. So I'm gonna remember that one because that's a freaking hell of a, what a smart question. Damn, you are freaking. How did you know to ask that? I probably talked about that before, but it's wow. And look at these questions. What's the reason you think the Bigfoot have for breaking limbs all around my house? Because they're. Why would they break limbs like tree breaks and it's a show of their strength, and sometimes it's a show of acceptance of you being there. But this is to Sasquatch 77. This is important. So if a Sasquatch, if I went to somebody's place and I saw that a Sasquatch had made tree breaks and they were all pointed in the direction of the house, my theory is that they're saying that your house is acceptably there, but you stay in that area, you don't come out, because where the breaks are, they'll point where it's okay. Where they're not pointed to, they're saying it's not okay for you to go there. But obvious things is they want you to know that they're there. They don't make tree breaks for people thinking that people don't get it. So really understand, they want you to know that they're there. They are communicating with you, and whether they're angry at you or not, I would actually say not. I mean, you're saying broken limbs. If there's tree breaks around, that can be a good thing. In fact, I think tree breaks never really indicate hostility so much as just territorial boundaries that you can, adhere to. But go have a look at them. And if you have, I'd like to see the, go to bigfootencounter@gmail.com. This is for Sasquatch 77. Send me pictures of the broken limbs. And if there are breaks like was showcased in the Survivor Man episodes I was in and in my movie, then I need to know what direction they're pointing, and if they're all pointed at the same direction or different directions. So if you have multiple big tree breaks that have been broken around your house, it's really, really Sasquatch. Tree breaks are significant indicators to me that there's Sasquatch stuff going on. So but I'm gonna leave this for now. I'm gonna mention that the flares end from Central Michigan wanted to I love those punch me in the face questions, and that's a really punch me in the face question. So we'll talk about that tonight. I think this stream went well enough that I will come back tonight. So I will be live an hour early. So it'll be will that be 5 p.m. Pacific time, and that's going to be what is it, 3 hours difference? So 8 p.m. I'm an hour earlier, anyways. Wherever you are, normally I do the show 7 p.m. Mountain because I live in the mountains. So I'll be doing it 6 p.m. Mountain today. So I'll put this up on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, ask me questions. I will have, oh my gosh, I will have, yes, serious questions here. So I will go through these questions and I'll answer questions on Facebook. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.